Welcome back to another video. My name is Michael. I'm the founder of Buffalo Performance and Analysis, where we combine sports science, strength and conditioning, and sports performance to give coaches the tools necessary to build the next level of elite athletes. In this video, we're going to do another dashboard breakdown looking at a 12-week progress report for 3 of my clients. The dashboard that we see is one that I made using Power BI. It's very similar to our 6-week progress report, except now we have an additional check-in date. So I want to go ahead and take a look. The first one I want to go over is their weight tracking over time. I've added another key component here called a slicer, so we can monitor their weight gain throughout March, April, and May. As we see towards the end of May, they have a big drop off. That was because they started doing some training on the field and they weren't hydrating and eating properly. Another really cool feature that we can use here is a slicer off to the side where I can virtually eliminate the other two. Another cool feature is a slicer for the weight, so I can kind of adjust the scale. So if I wanted to take a look at Gabe's weight over time, I would be able to do that and just see Gabe's weight changes over time. This is a very big weight change. He had one day where he was actually 178. Very, very massive drop off in that. But as we see, it's just kind of a one-day drop, and then he's back to his normal ways. Again, that's the dehydration issue. So he drank enough water, he started eating right again, and his weight came right back up. Again, like I said, we can adjust the scale off to the side. So if we wanted to take a look at Mason and Steven's weights here, we can. They are getting really, really close to the same weight, so it's hard to eliminate one or the other. But we're still able to go ahead and take a look at their weight as they transition over time. Again, same thing, we see some weight fluctuations towards the middle to late part of May. Hydration and food is a key component, and that's where a dashboard like this is great, is that we're able to see these big drop-offs or these big changes in weights, and then we're able to ask our athletes what's going on. Otherwise, if we're not utilizing a tool like this, we're not necessarily going to recognize or pick up on trends like Mason losing weight almost all throughout May. And so using data visualization is a great way to make sure that we're staying on top of our athletes' needs. Over the course of the 12 weeks, we can see that Mason put on about 4.5 pounds of muscle and he lost just over 4 pounds of fat, which is amazing. That's great progress over a 12-week span, very sustainable, and he's just going to keep on going over time. Steven, because he's a little bit younger, because he's not experienced with the weights, he put on 8 pounds, which is really, really good. We're not going to see that same amount of muscle mass growth as we continue forward, however. Same thing, he lost about 5.5 pounds of fat. Very, very good job. Eating right, drinking, working hard, training hard, and the hard work pays off. Looking at Gabe put on almost 15 pounds of muscle. Phenomenal. A little bit over a pound per week, not sustainable, and our goal moving forward is for him to maintain that weight, that muscle mass, and make sure that his performance stays at a very, very high level. He lost just over 3 pounds of fat as well over the course of 12 weeks. Additionally, to make visualizations a little bit easier, to digest the data a little bit easier, we went ahead and put graphs with their heads as a background image so we can see over the 12 weeks Steven's growth at the 3 checkup marks, right? We had the initial monitoring, our 6-week checkup, and then our 12-week check-in. And so that's really, really great to see. We can see the differences in their weights as they kind of continue on. Additionally, we have their body fat estimations below each one of their names, so we can see their body fat at the end of the 12 weeks. Another great feature that we can use is just an average, a minimum, and then a maximum weight. This is a great way to see where our athletes came from, where they peaked, and where they currently are as a moving average. So this is just a brief synopsis of what Buffalo Performance and Analysis can provide to teams and athletes. Ideally, we want to see the training load or the training distance that they covered during a training session, as well as, external measurements such as intensity, number of lifts, relative intensity in the weight room, workload in the weight room, as well as training load on the field. Another great thing that we can start implementing is what's called session RPE, which is at the end of each session, they give you a 0 to 10 scale of how difficult that workout was. And there's a lot of research that backs up that session RPE with how their body is responding to the stress of that workout. And that's a great way to kind of monitor the fatigue and track the athlete's performance over time. If you're interested in any of the services Buffalo Performance and Analysis offers, feel free to reach out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.